What's up, y'all? We're here for another Chakra Logic talk. I am your divine guide here to help lead the way. We can get into it. Let's get into the throat chakra. How to express that, how to let that out a little bit, Just because, you got, so all of us, we may have stuff we got going on behind the scenes, that people can't see in these videos. People don't know about other people. We all have stuff going on. We all have people that may not be on the same page as us, or may not, look at us the same way that we see ourselves. So I just want to give a quick shout out to everybody out there who's holding their frequencies up and really trying, because I hear from a lot of people that, people are misunderstood a lot. And it's not usually by people that get it. It's usually by people that don't get it, and, they're projecting onto you. So shout out to everybody who's holding these frequencies and really just trying to focus more on the love aspect and trying to help others out. So I'm with y'all. Keep that aura shining. Don't let them dim that light of yours. Keep that crown up. So let's get into the functions. We have functions, imbalances, and ways to activate / balance your throat chakra. So today we got the aquamarine, the aqua, blue one, turquoise, talking about the throat chakra here. So the functions of the throat chakra, it's a beautiful thing. So to start off, as a little recap of the functions, one being the root chakra, how you are connected to the earth and duality. Two, the sacral, how your body is connected to the body of the world and other people's bodies, and knowing when enough is enough. Then we have three, your solar plexus, your ego, your personality, your character, the side of you that gets to play certain roles. And, the key to that is letting go, and humility, being able to, be more than just one character in a way. Then we get to the heart chakra. The heart chakra, it's about love. It's about unity. It's about embracing the unity, surrendering to unity, allowing yourself to be a part of love and to go with the flow, embrace it. Give a hug to everything. Now we get to the wonderful, remarkable throat chakra, number 5. So your throat chakra is such an amazing part to have, at least for people that are very expressive, right? And by expressing, I feel like there's 2 ways of doing it. If I'm going to make it simple, you have art and speech. And in my opinion, art is just simply a way of doing something. Whether it's the way you walk, the way you smile, the way you dance, the way you fly, the way the way you talk, the way you go for that dunk and slam on somebody. You know what I'm saying? There's so many ways to communicate. There's so much communication that can be held, within how you do something, the art of doing something, whether you're trying to communicate to people, hey, back off, or hey, like, I love you, it's safe, come closer, or hey, I need help. There's many ways of communicating things, but your throat chakra is such a more direct way of doing that. And it's a very beautiful thing. It's obviously the first step to the divine chakras. So it's very much, your mental energy, the infinite energy, being able to express itself first, through your throat chakra, right? Because up here, we don't. It's all like sensory, like we're taking in stuff. But your throat is like, all right, it's going out now. It's like your exhaust of your mind, of the mental. Even when we're thinking in our mind, we'll hear voices or we'll see images and so forth. So, having a space for that to come out is beautiful. Such a beautiful thing. Having a voice is, I can't, my throat chakra is not all the way open right now, so it might come out a little crackly, but it's okay. I get it. I know how it works. But sometimes you gotta express. I'm trying to get back into expressing, because I ain't gonna lie, my light was kind of being dimmed a little bit before this message, but it's all good. So your throat chakra is a beautiful thing. So the functions of it is like, okay, well, we've risen ourselves up to these points, right? And now that we're at a spot where we're in unity with everything and we're in love with everything, how else can we share that with people? How else can we let the world know that you are in love with it? Well, your throat chakra, when it's all connected and balanced, you're like, yo, I just want to tell my truth. You know what I'm saying? I just want to speak my truth, and I want to help heal. You can heal the world, or you can hurt people with your throat chakra. As you know, it's a very powerful thing. Yeah, but speaking that truth, right? No matter how high you go up to the dimensions and so forth, being an ascended master and so forth, being able to speak that truth, being able to communicate that truth, being able to even create the videos like this where I can kind of impart wisdom and help people to, understand more clearly of what's going on around us is a beautiful, beautiful aspect of being alive. Because I normally would just try to write it in a song or try to put it in an animation, try to get people to catch on in that way. But honestly, now that I'm tapping more into my throat chakra and just speaking my truth and seeing how much it's actually healing people, I've actually started to see my throat chakra start to expand more. My voice starting to change a bit. And it's a beautiful thing. I'm like, wow, I'm getting back to my higher self where he was like, "Rah!" And I was like, oh man, his voice is like so powerful. My voice sounds like a little puppy, like, yeah. When I hear my higher self, he's like a damn wolf or a lion that's just like, whoo. And I'm just like, even my voice right now is so weak. It's so feeble compared to the voice that my higher self has. And, it's a part of me is like, man, dang, over all these years, I'm sure when I was like first born, my voice is more in tune with that. But over time, as life happens, as we kind of box ourselves in a little bit, from the world, we kind of put these like little guards on ourselves, these little guardrails to kind of stop ourselves from expanding or being too powerful in certain ways. And it's natural that we do that, but it also affects how your style, your personality, how you are, how you express yourself, like truly. So the throat chakra, in my opinion, has to do with truth. It has to do with lies too, right? And the difference. Because like if you have your truth, if you're in tune with your truth, like I mentioned before, if you balance your chakras, you will speak in a way to where that truth is also shown with the words that you use. And even for people that may not understand or the context of everything, they will still be able to receive some sort of truth from it. Or there might be an underlying truth that still correlates outside of the context, right? That's kind of like what a bar is about, things having multiple meanings. You'll hear something like, oh yeah, that is true, like when you hear these ascended masters talk and like the way that they speak, it speaks in a way to where like they're talking on different levels. There's a truth that exists on multiple levels, and when people tap into that, what they say will resonate on multiple levels. So that's like when you are able to balance everything and you get to your throat chakra, because then you're like, oh wow, okay, all this work that I did to get to this point, my throat chakra is kind of like how I get to express it, how I get to let it to the world. A lot of things want to silence your throat chakra, a lot of things want to close over your throat chakra because it's powerful. It can heal and it can, hurt. It can destroy and it can build. You can share ideas or you can take away people's ideas and make them feel certain ways. So your throat chakra is super, super powerful. Super powerful. There's a lot of functions to it. It's a very direct way to communicate. Even animals have throat chakras when they communicate and stuff, in different ways. I don't know if y'all can see that dragonfly. Let's see if you wave at me. But yeah, so let's get into the imbalances. Imbalances of the throat chakra. I'm sure y'all can probably start to kind of catch on by now. How people use their voice, their throat chakra, or their truth in a way that's imbalanced. Also another function of the throat chakra, right? Like comedy, being able to share jokes and laughter and stuff like that. It's a great way to clear out those things. Anyways, so imbalances, right? Gossiping, right? People want to speak about other people or talk about other people's truths for them, or like say, speak on other people and try to alter their truths or put hexes on people maybe like, oh yeah, like before this person comes in the room, I just gotta let you know that this person's this and this and this and this, and they did this and this and this, so you probably shouldn't mess with them. You probably shouldn't be cool with them. And then people are like, oh, okay, that's like putting a hex on somebody. That's literally making putting somebody in an environment where it's like the environment is now like against them. People have been hexing people for a long time. People be gossiping on people for a long time. Gossiping is also like that too, manipulation. People will use their throat chakra to manipulate people, to get them to believe that something isn't true, or use lies to get people to go in different directions or affect their ideas and their choices. Verbal abuse is another one. People will attack people with their words. People will try to talk down on people. And other imbalances, let's see, people over talking. Some people will over talk too much. They'll over express, or they'll over explain, or they'll repeat themselves multiple times. They'll overdo it. Let's see. People also, using their voice in a way to where it's like talking over people, raising their voice every time somebody else talks, not letting other people, open their heart, their throat chakras. Let's see. I'm trying to think about ways that's kind of like toxic first. Stuff like that. Y'all get it for the most part. I don't want to take up too much of your time. But also on the opposite end of the imbalances, right? When it's like closed up too much. When people say, "Oh, a cat got your tongue." Oh, you got a frog in your throat. There's a lot of sayings that have to do with your throat chakra, and it being closed up. And people talk really quiet, and they expect everybody to hear what they're saying, but that's not how it works. You get a lot of stuff. You get, people that don't know how to speak up for themselves, people that don't know how to express, they don't know how to let it out, and then when they do, sometimes they let it all out, and it's all emotional, and it's all like, blah, 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 this and this, and it gets into a whole thing where it's like, okay, well, hold on, I'm glad you're expressing your throat chakra, but, let's kind of control it a little bit and balance it out, and some people, they'll put too much priority in the throat chakra to where like they're always communicating, and they feel like they have to talk about everything, or they have to talk out everything. Some people will talk themselves into exhaustion. They'll talk so much to where like they'll like have an idea and they'll talk about it so much that they won't even do the idea. They're just they talk themselves out of it. You know what I'm saying? Some people think, like, oh, okay, well, we need to have this meeting, and we can't move forward, and so we talk. And yeah, it's good to have conversations and stuff like that, but some people overdo it, where they feel like everything needs to be a conversation, and not everything really needs to be like a whole blown out conversation, Some people really try to hold people on things, right? Some people will try to use your words against you, or put words in your mouth, which is freaking crazy. They'll say that, you said something to them, or you said this or that. So the throat chakra can get really messy, really manipulative, and people can be really toxic and attack people in ways. And yeah, they might not be attacking them physically and throwing punches, but some people really aren't even like that when it comes to throwing hands. Some people really are the first ones to run, but they're gonna talk, all bark, no bite. You know what I'm saying? So some people just be yapping, but when it come down to the action, they be folding up quick. So. There's more to it than just the throat chakra. There's more to it than just talking about stuff. And yeah, you can definitely spend all day in these imbalances, which we do. People spend lifetimes because they haven't even got to the part where they understand the heart chakra and understand that everyone is an expression of the same thing, including yourself. So if I'm saying that this person is ugly, or this person's fat, or this person's stupid, hey, guess what? You're ugly, you're fat, you're stupid. You know what I'm saying? Somebody needs to come at you with the same energy that you be coming at. I'm not talking about y'all in particular, but I'm like, whoever it pertains to. But I'm also looking out for y'all too, because people will be coming at y'all like this. People will be so quick to be like, yeah, how did you do this? Blah, 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 blah. But the moment that somebody comes to them with the same energy, it's a whole problem. So think about that. think about how you're using your throat chakra, and think about how you are not in tune with your heart chakra if you're still like that. So your throat chakra can't even understand the fact of truth and love. You know, some people get too caught up in you know, sayings and stuff, but don't even know how to apply it. Don't even know how to really understand or grasp some of these things, you know. Let's see, other imbalances. You know, people try to, you know, like I said, sell you on stuff. Like manipulate you, want to sell you on stuff, try to get you to buy into certain ideas, trying to scam you in certain ways, you know, get your attention. Oh, distract you. Let me get your ear. Hey, let me talk to you real quick. Hey, let me talk to you real quick. Hey, brother. Hey, sister. Let me talk to you real quick. Hey, do you know you need this? Or hey, hold on. Yo. You know, it could be a distracting energy when it's out of balance because people just want to get your ear, and it's more about them having people listen to them more so than them actually trying to have a real conversation, a real back and forth, or honor another person's throat chakra when they're the ones that are just trying to get out everything, express everything that's in their brain. And sometimes this is like stuff that they or you got to deal with on your own. You got to have a conversation with yourself. You got to speak with yourself. Hey, maybe just record a video, get it out in the video. You don't always need somebody to hear everything that you have to say, or take offense to it when people don't want to hear everything you have to say. Your throat is a beautiful thing. Once I had a dream where I woke up and I was in the same place that I went to sleep on. I was on the couch and I woke up and my whole voice was gone. And I was like, it was such a weird, I kind of went into like a little bit of a panic attack because I was like, because I was trying to release some music too at the time. I was like, I can't talk. I'm like, this sucks. Not being able to talk sucks, you know? Because you're like, you're a whole person. You have your own unique voice. You have your own unique style of putting words together and saying things, and your tone of voice and everything. But, you know, if you kind of cut off from that, that's a really sucky feeling. So some people may need a little 30-minute, you know, half a day break from talking. Sometimes people need that, you know. That's why they go on these monks, these you know, these monk temples and stuff. And you know, there's like a no talking rule, you know. And it's for a good reason. You got to balance that stuff out. You got to purge a lot of these habits that we kind of go into about talking things. And I have bad habits myself. I can be overly critical, you know. I've been trying to work on it as well. But sometimes when I'm gaming and I'm playing with randos online and I'm just seeing like the same imbalances like over and over, I'm just like, I gotta say something about this goodness, man. Because I'm like, well, is it gotta be this hard? But, you know, when you do, but I also give people the credit too, you know. I also give people the credit when somebody does something that's really impressive to me or whatever. I'm like, yo, that was awesome. I see what you did there. Wait, that was smart. That was really cool, you know. Ways to heal. And some people will only do one or the other. You know, some people may only want to talk about all the good stuff and have a hard time, you know, talking about the bad things. Some people only want to talk about the bad things and don't want to give people the credit, you know, kind of still keeping that hater energy from an imbalanced heart chakra. So your throat chakra is a tool, you know what I'm saying? It's a tool. It's a very powerful tool that you have to communicate, to share your ideas, to share your thought, to share your soul with the rest of the world. How beautiful is it that I can look at this whole area and everything in this area can hear me when I'm like, I love you. How powerful is that? How powerful is that to be a soul, to have that power to do that? More so than putting out hate in the world, putting out stress in the world, trying to trick up people with your words, you know. So let's get into some of these balances and ways to activate it. So like I said before, you know, obviously abstaining from talking sometimes it's good to just listen, and listening will make you a more profound talker, you know. Profound, right? Using your throat chakra, is it for the profound or the profane? Which side are you on? Are we gonna just stay on the profane side? And yeah, there's a balance. Sometimes it's fun to be profane, and sometimes it's fun to be profound, or sometimes it's too much to be profound all the time. You do have to find a balance, you know what I mean? It's not just about one, but if we're just all in the profane all the time, and we don't even know how to speak for 30 minutes without cussing, or without saying certain things, or without using vocabulary that is not, you know, very surface level, you know, you may have to work on listening more. You may have to work on reading more. You may have to work on receiving more of other people's throat chakras in a way that may be at a higher level. So that way you can expand your vocabulary. So that way you can become more articulate. So that way you can, approach conversations or approach situations with more tact, with more ability. There's a big difference between saying, hey, you talk too much, or you talk a lot. Saying you talk too much is saying, hey, there's something wrong with you. You talk too much. There's a problem here. But if you're saying you talk a lot, that's saying, hey, it's not a problem that you talk a lot. You just kind of talk more than most people. You know what I'm saying? So understanding those things, understanding your words and how powerful they actually are and how to choose them more correctly, take your time more to present the message, to wrap it up in that little bow tie, other imbalances, like I just did just now, speaking out loud, get in your car, sing, let it out, sing, even if your voice sounds shitty, what I'm saying? Just sing and sing, and then 15-20 minutes later, I promise you, your notes that you sing will be much better than what they were at the beginning. But you have to start with that, breaking through that energy, kind of, especially if it's kind of tough and it hasn't been, opened up that much. You kind of have to reverberate, kind of slowly break away, and then it won't take long. It doesn't take too long, but just sing continuously, 20-30 minutes. Even if you got to do it every day in the morning or whenever, kind of get it out, get it more in tune with your voice, get more in tune with that. You'll feel the power kind of come back into it. You'll feel a little bit of that resonance in your voice. It's a beautiful thing. Obviously, if you overexert it, you lose your voice, right? If you overexert it too much, it's a chakra point. So, get in tune with your voice. Don't overtalk people. Don't raise your voice every time somebody else starts to talk, or don't lower your voice every time somebody else starts to talk, and it's not about competing. And sometimes, don't fall into the imbalance with somebody else. If somebody's imbalanced and they're coming at you with their throat chakra, don't pull right into the same thing and be like, okay, well, they're coming at me this way, so I need to come at them in the same way. Which is what a lot of us do, and a lot of us get tripped up on. That's what they say. If you see two people arguing from afar, you don't know which one the fool is, or if you argue with a fool, people won't be able to tell from a distance, who's the fool. So there's a big part of being able to keep your cool. Keep your cool. Don't be the fool. Keep your cool. And sometimes it can be hard to keep your cool. Why do I gotta keep my cool? What's the point of keeping my cool when somebody's coming at me in so many ways, right? But there's a control that you have over the situation, over yourself. If you are able to be more relaxed, it is a way to let people reflect on themselves more so than you just kind of being a reflection of them, that projection. People love to project with their throat chakra. They love to project and put stuff on the people, put words in people's mouths, put thoughts in people's heads, spread that hate. But you got to balance this stuff out before you get. This is such a precious thing. It's such a precious thing that you got to balance this stuff out to use it correctly. Because you are connected to the divine, and the divine can communicate to you through the throat chakra directly. That's the amazing thing, right? Otherwise, all this would be like indirect, like, ooh, symbol over here, like, ooh, like little gust of wind over here. But if you can get the direct message, that's pretty freaking dope, in my opinion, aspect of the universe. So, care for your throat chakra, like drink honey or drink hot tea with honey, care for it. Obviously smoking and stuff can damage it and close it up. But if you are somebody who likes to, smoke and do stuff, counterbalance it with something that's going to heal your throat too. Don't just only use it. At least, at the very least, if you can't stop the habit, at the very least, soothe it, as well. Take care of it. Maybe get some lozenges, just even if your throat's not, like even if you're not sick, maybe get some just tasty little Hall's lozenges. They have some Hall's Fruit Breezer lozenges that are almost like candy. They taste delicious, but they also kind of help soothe your throat. Doing things like that will help your throat chakra. We use it all the time, and sometimes it's good to tend to it and to care for it as well. And there's blockages that we have on our throat chakra since we're little, like I mentioned before with the ego, like we have all these boxes that are placed upon us, and we kind of turn into the idea of all these labels, and you kind of forget the power, the roar, the thunder, the Zeus that you have within you. Oh, you know, I'm still not even, my throat chakra is still blocked. If it wasn't fully unblocked, oh, I'd be like, you'd be able to feel your phone reverberate or your earphones reverberate, you know. But at the same time, it's all, you know, we're all healing. We're all getting back to that space. So take your time, be careful with yourself, be careful with your words, choose your words carefully, you know. Those things really do affect people. Jinxing people, you know, jinxing the situation is a real thing, you know, like taking out the mystery of it is a real thing. Let's see, jinxing, hexing people as well. You know, people will put hexes on people. And what that is like you're trying to affect somebody's, you know, experience or reputation in a way when they're not around. So it's like, hey, I know we're about to meet this person or whatever, but I just want you to know that this person's not that good of a person. Like, you know, like they've done this and this and this, or this and this and this, so I wouldn't trust them. So you'll go into that room with that person and you'll kind of have this weird disposition where you're like, okay, they seem like they might be nice, but you know what? They're not cool. Let me keep my distance. And then that person, even though, you know, it could be true. There's situations where it could be true. We could just be forewarning people. But there's also a lot of situations where people are messy. And they'll do that just to kind of get people to feel a certain way. And so that person will come into a room and they'll be like, you know, they'll enter a space where now that space is like, they don't belong in it. You know, someone's already like hexed them. Somebody's already put like a little curse on them that made that situation kind of play out in a way, and they're not even aware that stuff is going on. So watch what you say about people behind their back. Watch how you use your throat chakra. A lot of people want to gossip. A lot of people love to talk about everybody else, but they don't want to be talked about, you know? So you got to pay attention to these characters out here that, you know, will express to you in a certain way, and they don't want people to express to them in that way. You know, they'll come at you and all this fire and fury and all this extra stuff. And then if somebody does that to them, they're going to take offense to it, you know? So just realize these imbalances and don't get caught up in reflecting other people's imbalances, you know? Keep yourself balanced. It's a hard job sometimes. It's hard work, you know? Just like holding it, you know? It's hard sometimes. I've been doing it for years. Like sometimes you just gotta hold it, y'all. We're the generational curse breakers, you know what I'm saying? If you want this to end with us, if you want this to end with you, and some of us came down here for this reason. Some of us came down into these hard family dynamics for a reason, you know, because we know that deep within us, we know that we can heal that. You know, we know that we can break this generational curse. And you're like, man, like look at this. Look at what everybody's falling under, the same thing. All these generations, like, dang, don't they see that we're, you know, that the beauty that is life, you know? And for some of us that are out here doing the light work, a lot of people love to project onto us because we have clear energy. And a lot of people want to use that energy, just like the divine feminine, right? That's that clean, the clear, unfettered, the soil, the space, right? And people want to use that space. People are like, ooh, this is nice energy over here. I see you in your room doing your thing. Like, you got this nice, clear energy. Let me come in here and start projecting up in here. You know what I'm saying? Because my energy, my space is all kind of cluttered up. And I can't see myself anymore. So they'll want to project onto you and get you to reflect that stuff that they got going on. And sometimes you just gotta listen. You know, sometimes you gotta hold that. If we are gonna break that generational curse, some of us have to be able to take on all this and be like, all right, it stops with me. It stops here. I'm gonna eat all this bullshit and keep going. And we need each other. All of us light workers out here, we really need each other, man, because getting to this point, y'all, this is like a finish line, but we're also kind of starting a new thing too, you know? Getting to this point takes a lot of work, especially if you've been doing it for a while. But, you know, you see the orb popping. God's watching. The universe, the divine feminine masculine, they're watching out here. So we need each other, y'all. Let's reach out to people and let's get into some more situations where people are speaking in a way that are talking, speaking you up, communicating, putting life into you. Not trying to take things out of you, not trying to say, oh, you need to have this, or oh, this or this or that, or oh, blah, blah, blah. You know? Get around people who really love you and really want to speak life into you. And understand the balance of what you're putting out there and what you're receiving with your words. And that can be a little bit more, you know, careful with the words or mindful with the words. it's good to be around people like that. It'll help you out too. Anyways, this is getting to a long video. We'll just stop right at 30. I hope everybody's been enjoying that Chakra Talks, Chakra Logic Talks. This is a long one. Jeez. Long one. But it's all good. I'm overextending, exerting, talking a lot. I guess this is Throat Chakra, whatever. So if you already checked out, all good. If you're still here, leave a like, subscribe, whatever. Love y'all. Peace.